Hello everyone, my name is Lamia and this presentation aims at exploring the area of teaching and learning with technology. Specifically, it aims at analyzing the trends of flipped classroom research based on 3 conference programs. First of all, I'm gonna talk about my topical focus, then the trends of flipped classroom research, and finally, pedagogical implications and how these trends could be useful for teachers. First of all, what does flipped classroom mean? Kim, Park, Zhang, and Nam 2017 define flipped classroom as a pedagogical strategy that reverses the traditional classroom process by delivering the instructional content, usually but not always online before class, and then engaging learners in interactive group learning and/or critical problem solving activities that are carried out under the teacher's guidance during class. So, in other words, flipped classroom moves the lecture content, which is typically presented in the classroom, through an online environment in the form of, for example, podcast, presentations, videos, or any other types of digital formats. So why I selected the area of teaching and learning with technology and flipped classroom? Because I think that we teach tech-driven students who have grown up on rapidly evolving technologies, and they show a low tolerance toward lecture-style classrooms. Also because it's an innovative way, and I think implementing innovative ways in the class can motivate students and can help to improve their language learning. I analyzed 3 conference programs. The first one is International Association for Teachers of English as a Foreign Language, and the second one is American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages, and the last one is Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. Now I'm going to talk about the trends of the flipped classroom research. The first one is about a study which is about towards implementing the flipped classroom in an EFL context. This study investigates students and teachers' views about introducing the flipped classroom to an EFL context. It discusses theories about the flipped classroom and its characteristics, and it also provides some practical hints on how to apply the findings. So, from the abstract, it's not clear what is the research paradigm or what the analysis. However, it's clear that the participants are students and teachers, and the context is English as a foreign language EFL. So what teachers and researchers who are interested in conducting a research about flipped classroom can get from this study is conducting a study, for example, about how teachers and students perceive the flipped classroom, but in a different context rather than the EFL. The second study is flipped learning and communicative performance in middle school learners. This study presents the results on the extent to which flipped learning influences student performance in interpersonal, interpretive, and presentational communication, and how the effects of flipped learning differ among low, mid, and high achieving students in different domains. So from the abstract again, it's clear that the participants are middle school learners, and also it's clear that there are two variables, the flipped learning and communicative performance, and also the effects of flipped learning and low, mid, and high achieving students. So we can get an idea from this study. For example, we can conduct the same study but using a different variable. So instead of communicative performance, researchers can investigate how the flipped learning influences, for example, students' writing skills or reading skills. The last one is online lecture videos and quizzes as preparation for beginner Japanese class. This study demonstrates one model of flipped class for elementary Japanese at a university. The students watched 40 lecture videos online and answered 3 questions associated with each video before class. According to the survey, students evaluated the system positively. So here we get a new point about the trends of the flipped classroom, which is data collection. So one idea to collect data in the flipped classroom research is through survey. It's clear here that the participants are elementary Japanese at a university. So what are the pedagogical implications and how these trends could be useful for teachers? First of all, because one of the study examines the students' and teachers' perception on the implementation of the flipped classroom, I think that the application of flipped class needs to be authorized and supported by stakeholders in administrative positions, since it's likely that teachers might face some reluctance from the students if they don't like such method. Another important point is related to the study that examines how the flipped learning differs among low, mid, high achieving learners. I think that teachers should take into considerations the students' proficiency level before implementing the flipped classroom. The last point is related to videos, since one of the study asked students to watch videos. I think an important point is the videos used as a pre-class learning material should be short in length to avoid making the video boring or not interesting. And this is my reference, and thank you so much for listening.